fuck me, dude. Yo, bro. Whoa, I'm dying. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my last recent project, which is an Essence Drain Contagion Spell-Slinger using Blight as its main single target. And yeah, you probably think now, wait a second, dude, what do you mean Essence Drain Contagion? That's boring as hell, dude. This skill exists longer than actually PoE exists, basically, right? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know, like Essence Drain Contagion is not something new, but I tried to make a different take on it, actually utilizing Gloss of the High Templar to make a big Essence Drain, and then actually using a 6-link Blight to cover up for the missing single target DPS. So, what else is there interesting on this build, if you might say, like, yeah, great, you just swap Essence Drain and Blight, like, great, good job, mbX. No, this build has more quality of life than I don't know what. Like, besides using a Mage Blood belt for like perma-phasing and curse immunity, for example, don't worry guys, Mage Blood is absolutely not needed in this build just because it not uses any permanent elemental flask, which I think is the most powerful form of Mage Blood. On the other hand, armor, okay, I'm running Determination, is fine. Chaos Res and All Res, I have a lot of like rare items where you can compensate for missing resistances. For example, I just have like 1 minimum endurance, can just craft like all resistance on it. Then reduced effect of curses, I can get hexproof immune with my Viridius Veil just using a second blue magic ring, and then we have a Quicksilver Flask. Like, I think this is actually the worst use of a Mage Blood belt. I'm still using it. I'm also going to use it in the map showcase, but just for the people that say like, oh my god, he's using Mage Blood, this is actually just a Mage Blood build. Well, so let's talk about the defensive layers of this build, because as I said, this build has so much quality of life. We're ailment immune, okay? That's the first thing. Ailment immune includes basically every kind of like shocked floor or something like that, chilled floor or chilled ground on the map. We're immune to ignite, to chill, freeze, shock, brittle, scorch, sap. I don't know what other elements there are, but hey, we're immune to all of them, right? Then we're occultist, means as long as we have energy shield, we're stun immune. Stun immune, really good. Then I use elevated chance to avoid poison and bleeding, which is a fail product. You know, usually people always try to go for the elevated tailwind onslaught, and they also need a second modifier to actually Maven Orb that together, right? So chance to avoid being poisoned or bleeding on elevated base costs you like maybe 1 Exalt or 100 Chaos, because it's a failed product of other people's crafts, right, that failed the Maven Orb. So this is actually super easy to get, as well as chance to avoid elemental ailments. I mixed those two together, and with the boots and the, what do you say, here, the tolerance, I'm immune or 100% chance to avoid poison, as well as bleeding, as well as corrupted blood on my jewel. So, okay, we're now basically ailment immune, we're stun immune, we're bleed immune, we're poison immune, we're like curse immune, we cannot get inflicted by corrupted blood. Thanks to the Viridius Veil, we are also immune to critical strikes, as well as we, like the damage of the enemies hitting you is unlucky. So, I don't know, like, I don't know how much more quality of life you can have if you're basically ignoring all the facts that can be there, right? The only thing that still hurts us is basically on-hit damage, but we still have a bunch of armor, we are blocking, right? We're not using glancing blows, and I still have 58% chance to block spell damage, as well as using recover energy shield on block, as well as getting a shit ton of life regen as soon as a monster has essence drain. So at some point of essence drain, you can just shoot essence drain on the Shaper, for example, and you can just face tank his beam just because you out regen him based on essence drain damage and other sources of regen, for example, right? Because we are running Zealot's Oath, you can run in a Vitality or something like that, right? There is a lot of like really cool things happening as well. We have Aspect of the Spider on this build, but I'm gonna go over all of these things and how you can make a build like that yourself, right? I want to mention something very early on. This is not a budget build, despite the Mage Blood belt, which is not needed, as I said before, but there's other things that cost a lot. You might say, like, bro, these +7 Hands of the High Templar are probably 100x. No, I bought these one for 10 Exalts, and I bought a second pair that I used before that, which were +5 and double curse, basically. I bought them for 15 Exalts. Oh wait, I have them in for 100 Exalts? Bro, they're the only one on the market. Dude, I swear, wait. Clear, D&D. Wait, they're the only one on the market. It completely satisfies 100 Exalts, okay? Dude, cut this out. Dude, whoever edits this video... Oh, wait, it's me. Dude, I need to cut this out. No, just kidding. So basically, Essence Drain Contagion has the issue that you very fast run into a problem, which is damage, right? Usually, 6-link Essence Drain, 4-link Contagion, or 3-link, maybe Spell-Slinger, right? But you probably know that you end up having like 1 million, maybe 2 million DPS on League Start, which feels kind of terrible. So I always recommend using a Blight setup, because this is the most DPS you can get out of a Chaos skill. Probably deals like 3 times more damage than Essence Drain, and that's why I'm using this one in a 6-link. This is still not enough, okay? It will still feel kind of mediocre. You need plus levels. I have here a Fractured all spell skills, and I essence crafted this one with +1 Chaos skill gems, basically, to gain the +2, basically, to all of my, like, Chaos skills here. I can actually reforge my prefix to get another plus Chaos on my shield. I'm using Gloss of the High Templar. I'm having a +3 shafts. So... yeah, shafts with a +3, I think goes for 70 exalt, 75, maybe 80 exalt, so it's not the most expensive, right? But it's still expensive, so you're gonna reach levels like my damage, probably around 150 to 200 exalts investment, okay? If you have less than that, then obviously you're gonna have less damage, and if you only have 10 exalts, obviously you can play Essence Drain Contagion, but it's not gonna be anything like that. I just wanna note that here right away. Good, for the map showcase, map prep, so I just think we're gonna run the Toxic Sewer and use some Scarabs, maybe we want Harvey, nah, maybe Elder, then maybe Nico or Ambush, maybe actually Nico for some Sulfite and Divination, Elder, Harvey, Arto, maybe a Beast, okay, so that's probably gonna be my map showcase. At the end of the video, I want to show you guys my feared that I did with this character, and it was actually with the challenge, so all bosses together. I haven't done a Wave Simo 30 yet, because I just have played enough Simulacrums yet, right? But I'm also running Breach. I was like, there is nothing that this build cannot really tank, right? It's absolutely ridiculous when it comes to the tankiness, right? So, as I said, mostly the same build that I ever had when it comes to, like, the amount of quality of life. Clearing skill, obviously, Essence Drain Contagion was always, like, a beast when it comes to clearing, and this is the new, what is it, Project Essence Drain Contagion kind of, like, mix that I'm playing on this, as well as, like, almost every Project MTX that I could find on the store. I actually got a lot of them myself, just because I was gambling some mystery boxes back in the days when the Project mystery box was actually a thing. But as you see, clear, absolutely ridiculous. It's Essence Drain Contagion in the end. There was never an issue with that, with the clearing aspect. And you might say, like, yo, there is no explosions. That's actually true, and I see a lot of people running Profane Bloom when it comes to Essence Drain Contagion. I never understand the reason why. I did actually try it once myself, but to be honest, you run into the risk that one of your explosions are actually killing the monsters affected by Contagion, which basically stops your Essence Drain Contagion spread, right? So yeah, it sounds cool, it looks cool, but it's actually counterproductive when it comes to Essence Drain Contagion. And that's why you don't really want to run any kind of, like, Explo mod on a build like that. But other than that, clearing, it's a one-button build that has, like, so much defense that, you know, I actually wanted to initially build this for Delve 1000, because you need a really tanky build with really good clear. But in the end, I decided to against it, just because I need to farm so many more maps because of the challenge grinds, you know. There's, like, I need to spawn, like, I think another 40 or 50 abysses, like, Abyssal Death, right? I need to level up my Blood Crucible that is currently on level 58 or so, and I think max level is 63, so I need to map another, like, 100, 200 maps, and that's why I decided to go against the Delve 1000 grind, as well as there might be soon the Endless Delve, and I don't know if it's, like, good for my mental health if I go Delve 1000 and then on the end still play the Endless Delve event, right? God, like, Essence Drain Contagion clearing-wise is just so beautiful. It easily holds up with any kind of Ignite Proliferation or anything like that. I mean, Essence Drain Contagion is nothing new, right? And if you never played it, if you want to know, like, real quick facts here, how does this actually work, what is the spread? The spread is actually coming from Contagion, but Contagion doesn't really do a lot of damage, right? But if a monster that is dying from Contagion has also, or is affected by Essence Drain, it will deliver the Essence Drain to all the nearby enemies. making a chain reaction, basically. As you see, like, once the projectile hits, like, everything is, like, almost instantly exploding, or at least, like, proliferating, right? It's just a very, very enjoyable build, and the way that I build it now with, like, so much quality of life, being immune to almost everything that can hit me, besides, like, raw flat damage that I still can mitigate by a lot, based on block, recovery as on block, with all the reach and stuff like that. It's just, like, a pleasure to play. Let's be honest. For me, this is one of the builds that I would say this is a high-quality, top-notch build. Yeah, obviously, it does not have 100 million DPS like any, like, Wild Strike Berserks with, like, Squire and whatnot, right? But when it comes to just the overall appearance of the build, and as well as the single target that I built in with the 6-link Blight setup, it's fair enough to do all content. I'm gonna link actually 2 PoBs this time around. One is the version that I currently play, which is like the Viridius Veil stuff. Is there anything? Oh, it's just garbage. The Viridius Veil stuff, and the other one is a pure damage one using a rare helmet, right? And the rare helmet version actually reaches like over 10,000 energy shield, as well as over 40 million DPS, where just 30 million is purely coming from Blight itself. But this is so perfect gear, you will not even be able to get things like that in Harvest League, right? But I always design my builds to be what is the most insane version, and then I always try to replicate as good as I can, and I ended up actually as a budget version to use Viridius Veil, because in the start, when I started this build, I was using a gold rim, like out of my leveling tab here, of my leveling gear, right? I was using a gold rim, and I was using, like, not Thessalius, I think, like, the minus mana cost rings and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, what can I invest for a couple, like, maybe 1 Exalt to just get rid of the gold rim and stuff? And I said, like, you know what? At Viridius Veil, I played with that shit, like, so often with the enchant. I mean, not the corrupted version, but with the enchant, it was, like, 75 chaos or something. Just equipping 2 of these rings. I still have 1 of the other rings laying around somewhere. But anyways, it's just, like, 2 magic rings, crit immune and everything. And I like this so much that I just said, like, you know what, I don't need more DPS. I know I could technically reach 40 mil DPS or whatever, but I'm running 10 mil, and the content is absolutely no problem. I can face tank Owl, I can face tank, or I did Uber Ethereal, like, whatever this game throws at me, it's absolutely no problem. So why go for even more damage if you can therefore get even more tanky and more quality of life? And that's why I actually stick with that in the endgame version, right? So if you take a look, we're currently running like close to 8 million in the current version, 8 mil on Blight, and then we have Essence Drain for around about 2.5 million, which is most people's endgame DPS for a 6-link, right? So I'm really compensating for that with the Claws of the High Templar, and the good thing about this is now my Spellslinger is a 4-link, and therefore costs a lot less mana to actually get going, right? So I'm running a Spellslinger, 4-link, and 3-link with Contagion, and with the Helm enchant, I can reserve a lot more auras other than the 6-link version, right? So let's go over the gear and explaining a little bit on how this reservation thing and stuff like that works. As I said, Helmet, Viridius Veil, like one of the best defensive options that you can get with a double blue ring if you don't have a Mage Blood, and then take anything, a Quartz Flask with, like, I don't know, anything that you would like, because we're gonna get the Curse Immunity or Hexproof from the Helmet itself, right? So just the double magic ring. Then we have here Discipline, Zealotry, and Lighten with Arrogance support. This is one of the last things I added because I'm running 3 small cluster jewels with reduced mana reservation and 35% increased effect. They are not cheap, right? But I started with just Discipline and Arrogance without any mana reservation, right? At some point I added Clarity, at some point I added Tempest Shield on my setup because it's a 35, a 25 aura percent-wise, right? But after stacking so much mana reservation, I could actually fit in Discipline and Zealotry. So basically, you just want to see that on your low life build, basically, you reserve as much as possible without running into like problems that you cannot reserve something. So basically, as I said, start with Discipline, add Clarity later on, add Tempest Shield later on, and if you even have a Viridius Veil with +2 level of Chocolate Gems makes you Enlighten level 6, right? Then you can even do something like Discipline and Zealotry, opening up a lot more possibilities for your mana pool. On the shield, which is important, Ailment Avoidance, right? There is not a lot of things that you can Ailment Avoidance with. We're basically getting like 30% from the shield, and 40% or 45% from the boots, and then 25% over here with the Cane Sanctuary. That means, in the best case scenario, you have 45 on your boots, 30 on your shield, can get up to 35, and then 25 on your skill tree. No, actually, wait. 45. No, stop. Dude, I tell you it's 100. 45 plus 25 skill tree plus 30 from the shield. There you go. At least you want to reach 100. If you cannot do that, skip Determination, run Purity of Elements. That's what I did in the start too. And after I reached 100% Ailment Immunity without the Mage Blood, this is like because I have the quality of life to actually get a permanent resistance flask. If you don't have that, skip Determination, run Purity of Elements, get Rest Kept, and get Ailment Immune without spending too much, right? But Determination is still the better choice for the physical damage mitigation, right? Other than that, recover ES on block, really, really nice. The Socket of Gems is not the best option. I don't know if I said in the intro that my actual shield got bricked. So I run a couple of these shields, right? I think like the version that I have over here, this one was ES on block and chance to block. 40% chance to block on a shield. And what I had before was recover ES on block, T1 chance to block, as well as ailment immunity. And I gave this to a crafter and I said, like, fix my prefix, please, because I'm working on POBs. I need to map, you know, like, I have other shields to use for now, but in the end of the day, I needed to have a Reforged prefix, suffix cannot be changed with, and then suffix cannot be changed, and then Reforged chaos to get +1 chaos. And what happened, the crafter dude actually made Reforged suffix, prefix cannot be changed, so he got rid of all my suffixes, and yeah, the shield is dead, you know? Which is kind of sad, because I used to be like on 50 or 48% chance to block, now I'm on like 30, right? Just because of the shield. This was my other shield that I had laying around. The Socket of Gems have mana reservation efficiency, was not even planned, but this allowed me in the end to gain an aspect of a spider, basically, right? So, yes, it sucks that my shield is dead, but on the other hand, like, I will live without it, right? I don't need drama here or anything to... Whatever, shit happens, what should I do? Anything what I do would not bring the shield back, so fuck it. Good, then we have Malevolence, Tempest shield, and Determination on my shield. In the wand, as I said, in the best case scenario, you have a Fractured all spell skills, because this is a fucking rare mod, and I spammed then Essence of something, and I got +1 level of Chaos, and then just cleaned up the suffixes, multi-modded for dot multi and cast speed. That's fine for me. The best case version would have damage over time multiplier, case damage over time multiplier, and probably, I don't know, like, if it's not Fractured, the Malevolence aura effect on Hunter, but this is like a multi-mirror wand, whatever, don't have the currency or not even the possibility to do it without harvest crafting. But this is totally fine. Frenzy Wand Link to trigger my Spell-Slinger, and then Flame Dash with Arcane Surge support. For the chest, +1/+2 duration is better than +1/+2 projectiles, because there's a couple of support gems that uses duration, for example, like Infused Channeling gets also from the shafts, basically. And if you're wondering why not a +4, because we're running an Empower, and the +1 to Empower gives also +1 to our Blight, so it's basically the same outcome as a +2/+2, right? Just the +1 also affects my support gems. Running here, Blight, Control Destruction, Efficacy, Infused Channeling, Empower, and Void Manipulation. Swift Affliction does more damage, but it has less duration on my secondary debuff that I want to stack to 20 to get the maximum damage, so it's not like the most damage version, it's just like the most quality of life, because Swift Affliction is always like a two-edged bladed sword, basically, right? Then for the rings, one rare ring, or basically magic ring for the immune to crits. Basically, Endurance Charge can go, a Frenzy Charge can go, all resist, whatever stuff makes you feel fine. And then I used a second rare ring just with a Fractured Despair on hit, which is from the Delph Fossils. I'm actually go away from my portals because there's like weird sound here, right? No, no sounds here. Good, perfect. Before I used that, I had Despair on my gloves, and I was using a double blue ring, basically, right? Good. When it comes to the gloves, anything is good that has like probably a +3 to start off, should be relatively cheap, like +1/+2 duration maybe, or +2 projectiles or whatever. Better if you can fit Despair, better if you can get even more techs, or at least plus levels, because Essence Drain, Projectile Duration, Chaos, AoE, so Projectile Duration, AoE, plus Socket of Gems, +7, easy clap, right? But there's multiple ways. As I said, I had before Despair on hit, so I was using double blue ring. Now I'm having this one, so I had to get my Despair somewhere else. Temp change is not that important. Essence Drain, Control Destruction with a Spell-Slinger and Void Manipulation. Then for the boots, as I said, Awakened Orb, chance to avoid being poisoned and bleed with elemental ailments. If you got that, you can basically just suffix cannot be changed and Veiled Chaos Orb, that's what I did, and got the Aisling movement speed with Onslaught, and then just crafted ES, and there you are. Like, these boots literally cost me less than 10 exalts to make, actually. Not even. I think there was not even 10 exalts to make, maybe like 5 or 6 exalts. Because you just need to do the... Nah, well, it's a Maven Orb, cost 4 exalts. So yeah, maybe like 10, maybe 15 exalts in that case. But I was lucky, I hit it on the first try, I think. Just don't forget to imprint your magic base before you Awaken Orb together, because if it breaks, if you get anything shit, then you can still just revert and Awaken Orb together, right? Again. Contagion, Spellslinger, AoE, and the Divergent Clarity. Flask Setup, I am running a Quicksilver with reduced mana cost, the effect of curses on the Quartz Flask, then an Amethyst Flask with All Res, and Armor with the Granite Flask and a Bottled Faith, because, yes, it's a non-crit build, but still the enemy takes 10% increased taken from, like, as long as they're on Consecrated Ground, as well as the Watcher's item that I'm running, which is another 10% increased damage taken. So if the boss is there and I'm popping my Bottled Faith, it takes 20% increased damage because these two stack, which is insane. Good, let's talk about the skill tree real quick. Basically, double large cluster jewel setup, if you want to really go min-max, right? You would try to craft everything with intelligence, and then even go with the utmost intellect and do like some kind of like intelligence stacking essence drainer. But this is like super high-end stuff and really expensive gear. I'm talking about multi-mirror setup, right? This was the more easy way, basically. Low life. This is not a beautiful solution either, but it saves 3 skill points. It's like, do you rather like have like Unholy Grace or got those two away and just manually skill in there and use an actual good jewel with like chaos damage, .multi, chaos.multi? That's up for debate, whatever. I'm not like high level, I'm level 94 right now. So I said like, yo, I need the skill points more at the moment. So if I get a higher level, I probably just spec into those 3 and get an actual jewel. Then we have like 2 large clusters, Touch of Cruelty, Unholy Grace, Wicked Paul, and the Dark Ideation, Unholy Grace, Wicked Paul. Then medium clusters, all the same, Wicked Paul and Val Reinvigoration for the regen, for the max energy shield, for the increased damage over time. And my small clusters, increased effect, and a triple stat with the mana reservation efficiency. If you have currency, max ES. If you have even more currency, intelligence, all attributes, whatever you can fit on those. But you want to have this as a 3 stat because you want to get the most out of your mana reservation efficiency. Over here, we have a Spreading Rot Jewel with Corrupted Blood. You can have, like, cannot be cursed or no silence. I think I have this over here. Yeah, no silence. Or Channeling Blight, for example, right? Then over here, Mana Reservation Efficiency, Mastery, chance to block attack damage per 5, block on shield. This currently only gives me 5% block on my other shield, which had 40% block. It was actually 8% block chance, which is really, really nice. Then increased effect of Withered and Chaos.multi by Chaos Resistance. Since we're having max Chaos Resistance, we're getting some nice damage out of it. Yeah, for the Ascendancies, Vile Bastion into Malediction, into Void Beacon, into Withering Presence, or even, I would actually say first Vile Bastion, then Withering Presence, and at the end, Malediction. Do I use Malediction at the moment? Yes and no, because in the end I'm only running a 1 curse now with Despair and Hit. It was a bit better or a bit more valuable when I ran my dual curse setup for my Hands of the High Templar. Good. Talked about map showcase. We're gonna have a lot more map showcase at the end of the video, right? Anything else to say here? I don't think so. Path of Building link is in the description below from this version, plus the ultimate min-max version, where I would say, yo, this probably so expensive that nobody or these items will not even exist, and even if you want to craft them, probably not obtainable. But hey, I'm still gonna give it because I worked it out, and maybe somebody has need for it in standard or something like that. Good. MTX project, like whatever you find with project is fine. Then the Verdant Shield, as well as the Primordial Helm Attachment and the Pitch Black Bandana and everything that is green, basically. Darkwood Aura Effect, all the Project Blight, Essence Drain, Contagion, Project Aura Effect. Yeah, as much project as you can fit into this build, and your character will probably look something like this. Even called mbX project as this project. Good. Overall, as I said, a very cool build, very fun to play, good clearing, good everything, very good single target. It's not like top-notch single target, but it's still very, very good. And yeah, so much quality of life. It's just like, it's actually boring to play this build. I'm not gonna lie, this build is boring to play just because You know, it's so good, it's just boring, you know? Yeah, pretty much that. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Raven releases all bosses together. That's gonna be interesting. At the moment, I'm running around like a headless chicken, dude. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, man. Where do we even start? Go outside and die. Stay inside and die. Okay, I understand. I was like, dude, I'll need to stand on the edge. Either a Series Flame Blast is gonna kill me, or if I step out, Uber Elder Circle is gonna kill me. Bro! Okay, I got this. The thing is, what I'm doing right here is just running around trying to get Essence Drain on whatever boss, you know? What I should be doing is killing one by one, ignoring the others. But I'm not doing this. I'm like slowed as fuck, man. Fuck me, dude! Yo, bro! Whoa! I'm dying.